Hello everyone, welcome back to Dr. C 2000. I just want to say thank you for putting up with my crap. A lot of things have changed in the new year, a lot of advice has been thrown my way, and for those of you that do support me, for the 27 of you that do support me, I want to say thank you. Because you and a lot of others have told me to never give up, to do what I think is right, and to do what I love. I just want to say thank you. On the chopping block tonight, a scene from the newsroom. America is not the greatest country in the world. Jacob's high school parking problem. We need to start putting a little more effort into the learning environment, and a thank you to Jacob's teachers, and also a petition that I need sent out to everybody so I can get a lot of signatures, and also another push for subscribers again. But side note, I will be pushing for more subscribers and more signatures in video. You know, I'd at least like to see you know how like in some videos they've got like these numbers that it's like it just never stops, it never stops. Like, I'm not asking for that, I'm just asking for maybe a little push to getting a little more than 27 subscribers. I mean, for the 27 of you that do subscribe and do listen, thank you very much. I appreciate all you have been doing for me, and I appreciate all that you've been doing. Just, you know, hey, keep up the good work, and I'll keep coming out with a quality podcast. Anywho, so sorry about that, I lost my train of thought, but first on the chopping block is, Jacob's parking problem. A lot of you people may know about this because of the constant, you know, if you've been set up with the whole email through everybody, at least I have. I've been getting, this has been the second email I've gotten. I don't remember who sent it, but it said some store is now towing vehicles because it's not affiliated, you know, it's not affiliated with Jacob's parking lot because the vehicles have been towed. To me, I want to say to these people that keep sending me these messages and keep telling me that, I mean, I don't drive as of yet, I don't have my license as of yet, but for those of you that do, I know, and those of you that have cars, and those of you that have licenses, and those of you that are faced with this problem, I will defend you guys, because that's one of your freedoms that you're given, a car. And I want to say to these guys, okay, instead of telling me where we can't park, and instead of telling me that we will get towed if we park there, how about we hold a meeting, or we hold an assembly, or hold a, you know, you send us a Google form or whatever on asking us what should be done about the problem. It shouldn't be, oh, so-and-so is not going to allow you to park here and then you will be towed. It's, hey guys, okay, we've been getting calls and yada from all these businesses and shop owners. What can we do to fix the problem? What can we do? We need to address it. I feel that no one is saying this to these adults and in the administration, because I don't know why. Because maybe some of you think they don't care, and some of you may be right. They probably don't. But it's, you know, you have to start facing the music. It's time to change. Because if we don't say anything, nothing will get done. And that actually leads into my next topic. Us as students, we need to start putting in a little more oomph to coming into school. Yes, I know it's painful. Yes, I know it's rough. I'm a student, same as all you. I know how this goes with everybody. Yes, I will say it is horrible sometimes, and it is dramatically painful, to say the least. But I would like to see more of a, and this kind of relates to some of my classes, especially in the morning classes that I have. We need to. I tried to say this to you guys this morning, but no one, I think, wanted to listen. But for the people that I know who truly care, or like not truly care what I have to say, but like will, give my opinion a little forethought and think, hey, this guy might be right. Those my supporters, those people who agree with me. I feel that we need to start applying a little more oomph. A little more oomph to this control, because I will only say this once. I'm sick and tired of being the one kid in the classroom that always raises his hand. I'm being sick and tired of the one kid in the classroom that's always pushing to ask. I know this is gonna sound like a cheap, cheesy thing that every teacher says, but if you had no question is wrong. No question is wrong. Essentially, this is what these teachers get paid for. They get paid to teach us. They get paid to help us if we're having problems or issues. And yes, people might be saying, "Oh, but Doctor C, in your last video, in a few videos before, you said that Jacobs was shit." Yes, and I still believe that to be true. There are still a few major problems to be wrong with it, and I wish that they would be solved sooner. But I can only wait, and I can only hope. We as a generation, we as a student body need to start putting an oomph into how well we support our teachers, because these guys come in day out, show snow or shine, rain, sleet, or snow or shine, put a smile on their face, and have that will to keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back, to say, you know what, I'm happy. I want to teach these kids. I want to help them out. I want to help them out the best I can. And I know that some people don't agree with me. I know that some people just don't give a shit generally. But, hey, if they're taking the time out to make lesson plans, and if they're taking the time out of their busy day to help us, then I feel that we should give them more of a, we should show that respect back. And what I mean by that is no more dead silence when a teacher asks a question. To be honest, I hate that. And a lot of people, probably a lot of other people do too. And they're probably just afraid to say it because they don't want to offend anybody. But, hey, that's not my goal to offend anybody. My opinion will just about offend everybody and anybody. I can be totally honest with you. Some of the shit I say on this show, it probably offends half the people listening, and it probably offends half the world. But me, and I would hope so, some others hate it when a teacher asks a question and then there's just dead silence, because there's no learning being done. No one is contributing. No one is doing anything. It doesn't do any good for anybody. So I feel that we should at least give a little bit of a we should at least participate. And if you don't know it, then ask. That's what they're there for. That's what they get paid for. Raise your hand and ask a question. Teacher, hey, could you go into molar mass a little bit further? Hey, teacher, could you go into the product of the product of exponents a little more? Hey, teacher, could you explain to me the difference between something with English, like what's the difference between a colon and a semicolon? You know, something like that. That kind of like, or in culinary, it's like, hey teacher, what does the big T mean on the measuring spoons, or what does the little T mean on the measuring? You know, questions. Just ask them questions. There are teachers there that are generally there to help, and that they generally care. And then you've got the teachers that just don't like kids, and you have the adults that just don't want to be around kids, and they do. I don't know why. It kind of makes you think, why would you go into a teaching profession if you don't like kids, if you don't want to do it? I've been seeing that not as much as this year, but in years prior, I saw that a lot of there were some teachers who had a grudge. And I don't think that was preferably them. I think that was preferably some of the disrespect they have been getting over the years, and pretty soon they're going to be fed up with it. A quick thank you, though, if there is a adult from Jacob's staff watching, and a lot of people might agree with me on this. A long time ago, in a distant way, I wanted to do something about the cell phone policy. And that kind of goes back into my, we need to start respecting our teachers and blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, these guys stand up here and they cram our head full of knowledge to help us. And a lot of kids just don't see it. And also, this is going to go into the petition. Link in the description. Send that out to everybody. I need to get, a shit ton of signatures on this, please. Because, right now, it's kind of a ghost town, and everybody's saying, wait, and wait, and wait. I'm like, okay, how come I have to wait while Logan Paul's getting all the... I know what Logan Paul did, and, what he did was kind of wrong. Well, hell, it is wrong. But, or these channels that are up and coming, and, they get these millions of subscribers, and all they do is the most simplest shit. I'm not asking for, I'm not asking for 30K. I'm asking, maybe 100. 150, 10K, 10K. I'm at least asking for 50. If we can reach 50, I want to say maybe either from now until February. If I know I don't have deadlines, and I know I'm not, I'd at least like to reach 50. If we can get to 50, then I'll dial it down on the subscriber count. But I'd like to get a lot of signatures for this petition, and it kind of goes into what I was saying. But back to what it was these kids were on their cell phones when the teacher was teaching. That's what I have the problem with. If you're in class on your phone, and it's like, the teacher says, okay, it's time to work on your homework, or it's time to work on Alex, or it's time to, the teacher's not teaching, but it's still class. That's where it ends. That's where, when the teacher's up there and he or she is teaching, that's when I say no phones. That's when I say no. That's when I say no music. That's when I say no. A lot of people might be thinking, "Oh, Chacho, you're just siding with the teachers because you want to suck up to them and you want to be a little kiss ass." No, I don't want to be a little kiss ass. I want to learn. I want to have the right to a decent education as much as the next guy. But I can't do that when the teacher's talking to Jimmy over there. Jimmy or Johnny or Fred over there. Because Fred or Jimmy or Johnny was on his cell phone, or Fred or Jimmy or Johnny was dicking around with his friends. I want to learn, and a lot of other people want to learn too. They don't want to be stuck in that school. They don't want to be stuck as a student who's held back. I mean, I wouldn't, at least. I feel that I've seen over the course from the 8th till now, I know that's not a long time, but I've actually seen an initiative taken to this policy, and I hope that it continues to get a little better. To me, I feel it should be a 3-strike law. If you're being disruptive, you get a strike. It should be like if you get a tardy, or if it should be like you miss,
school, it should be if you miss a school period, or if you're late, like a tardy, if you miss a day of school, like you're going truant. 3-strike law. Quick, there, and to the point. And it shouldn't be this long, fucking complicated process of some fucking backwoods book that hasn't been opened since 1972, and it's probably got fucking moths coming out of it. It shouldn't have to be this difficult to reprimand a student that was being obnoxious. And if you're one of those students that doesn't give a fuck, if you're one of those students that just doesn't generally care, then you need to tell your teacher. I amend you if you go up to your teachers and tell them in front of your class. I hope someone does do this, and someone gets it on video and then sends it to me, and I hope for the students that generally just don't give a shit, for the ones that are the repeat offenders that keep making these, that keeps being a fucking nuisance, and it keeps disturbing the program for everybody, and it makes school. That's why school is hell. That's why these teachers act like they have a rod up their ass. It's because some fucking idiot back before we came into the picture fucked everything. It's like with the senior prank. It's like why they don't do senior pranks no more. Or it's like you have to go, and I kind of find this a little bullshitty, it's why you have to go through Valiant, or if you want to do a senior prank. It's because of the fucking idiots that did the stupid slip and slide with the oil, and it fucked everything up. That's why. Because someone back then fucked up, and now it's ruined for the rest of us. That's why school is shit. Because someone fucked it up for the rest of us. And what we need to do is we need to show these teachers, hey, we're not gonna, we need to put our money where our mouth is and say, hey, we're not gonna act like these fucking idiots back then. We've grown, we've changed, we've become a little smarter. That's what it needs to be. We need to show we need to give these teachers our respect. Respect and kindness go a long way in my life. It really has, and it has helped a lot. But as I was saying, if you generally just don't give a fuck about coming to school, and you just don't generally give a fuck about learning, and you'd rather be sitting in the fucking back, fucking blowing smoke from your electronic cigarette or whatever, or you'd rather be dicking around with your friends on your phone, going on social media, texting God knows who, and calling anybody and your grandmother while the teacher's actually fucking talking, I genuinely ask you to walk up to your teacher and tell them that you do not care, that you do not want an education. And then I encourage you to walk up to your parents and tell them, Mom, Dad, stop wasting your money by sending me to this public school. Because if you are one of those children, or one of those students that does not give a fuck, or does not care, that is what you are doing. And for the students like me, and probably the 27 others that agree with me, for those of you that care, that actually want a damn decent education, then it's we need to get a lot more support, because I don't feel that 28 people are going to do a thing. But unless we stick up, unless we stick up for what you or anybody truly believe in, nothing will get done. So, if you don't care, if you don't like going to school, if you genuinely do not like learning, then here's the options you can get from me. Community service, which means going out on the fucking highway with a stick, picking up the trash. Or a Walmart greeter. Or something that benefits this society. Or Army, Marine Corps, Navy, any one of those. Boot camp. Because if you don't want to learn, then get the hell out of my school. If you don't want to give a shit, and if you want to disrespect the teachers, then get the hell out of my school. Because I want an education. My dad's paying for my education, and your parents are paying for your education, which is being impeded by the people that don't give a shit. I hate to say it, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying it, but you know what? It's goddamn true. It's damn well true. If you don't give a shit, then get the fuck out of my school. Because I want an education. That's what my father is paying for. That is what all your parents are paying for when they pay their taxes. Not for some teacher to be yelling at a student that has been disrespecting her or him the entire class period. That has just been a constant nuisance the entire class period. That is not what your parents are paying for. Your parents are not paying for a glorified babysitting service. What they are paying for is a group of adults that risk their life to be in a room, in a building, to stand up in front of it, and bravo to them, to have the courage to stand in front of everybody, to stand in front of these teenagers, and stand in front of us, us as teenagers, and help us with life, or help us with difficult problems, and educate us. That's what our parents should be paying for. So, in the link below, here's what's going to be in the description. The petition, my 2 social media outlets, and my website. Because I've genuinely have had enough. You know, I just had enough, and a lot of people might hate me for saying it, but to me it needs to end. To me it needs to end, and I hope a lot of people take my words with prowess. And I hope they put their... Because if they truly don't give a shit, if they just want to sit there and cause a ruckus and be a little nuisance, then put your money where your mouth is and tell your teacher and tell your parents that you genuinely do not want to go to school. And tell your parents to stop paying for your education. To stop wasting their money. To stop hurting other kids from getting a good, decent education. To help the ones that want to. Because for those of you that still will continue to be a nuisance, listen. It is not funny. It is not doing anyone any good. And it is not helping the situation if you continue to be disrespectful to a teacher. If you continue to be rude to an adult at any location, especially school, or if you're just there because you are forced to, and the only way you can rebel is by pissing people off. You are no help if you do any of that, if you do any of those following. Because you're just being a disturbance, and not a lot of people have told you. And not a lot of people have said it straight to your face, but I am the one to say it. It needs to be said. It needs to be dealt with. And we need to stop beating the fuck around the bush. And I'm going to be touching on this matter as soon as you listen to this clip. This is from HBO, The Newsroom. America is not the greatest country in the world. And this will also be in the link in the description.
My name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite? Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
I hope you take for what he said for what it's worth. And to be completely honest, Dr. C 2000 is in complete agreement with what that man just said. And Dr. C 2000 will say it. America is not the greatest country, but it used to be. It used to. And I'm not gonna be like fucking Trump. Make America great again. No. This is what I say. Equality, liberty, and justice for all. Because we say it every morning. We say it every third period. We stand up and we put our hands over our hearts and say that pledge. We should mean it. We should own up to it. It is time to stop living like this. It is time to speak your mind and to not let any fucking hater tell you what's wrong and what you should be saying. And to all those people who hate me, and to all those people who hated my vaping episode, the one I did, that's my opinion. I, as an American citizen, have a legal right to say this. To me, if you are underage to put a electronic cigarette in your mouth, then that is illegal. I am not saying that everyone who does it is a bad person. I am not saying that if you do drugs you are bad. I am saying if you do any sort of drugs and you are underage, you are ruining your life. Sure, it may be good now to get that high, or it may be good to be in that amnesia land. And for people who really, really, truly hate me, and really just want to say it, then nothing is stopping you and your opinion to tell me otherwise. But I do say this. If you hate me, I would at least like you to have a decent, civilized conversation with me and help me to understand the other point of the argument. Because if I can get one hater, if I can get one person who hates my guts to sit down with me, in front of me, to my face, and I sit on the other side of the table, and they tell me their personal like thing with this, like with the issue or the argument. They give me personal, they give me factual, they give me all this statistic, they give me all this data, and we have a civilized conversation. Then at least I know I'm doing something right. But if you want to be the one before, about a few weeks ago, before I quit, before I quit temporarily, and the last thing I posted on all my social media was a conversation me and said person had. And the said person told me to get out of Jacobs. That I have no opinion. That I am garbage. That I am fucking wrong. I can't wait to see the day when someone tells me to go kill myself because I said something they didn't like. I can't wait to see that day. Because everybody has called me, because a lot of people, and though they may be the minority, I do not give a shit what you say. If you want to hate me, then here's a tip. Unfollow, unsubscribe, and you don't have to ever talk to me or listen to any of my videos or follow any of my posts or like anything that I have to say. As a hater, if you hate me, then you can do one of those following. But here's what you don't need to do. You don't need to text me at 12 o'clock in the fucking morning and give me a fucking paragraph, a misspelled paragraph with swears and indecencies to put me down. I will not let that affect me anymore. I will keep continuing to do these podcasts. I will keep continuing to have my opinion, and I will keep continuing to be a damn American citizen with an opinion. Now, if you'd like to be civilized, if the haters would like to be civilized and tell me their side of the story, then by all means, tell me your side of the story, and I will listen. That is all I have ever asked of anybody. But not one of the haters, and no one has had a civilized conversation with me to give me the other side of the argument. It's only been swears. It's only been indecent threats. That's about it. So as I say, that man's words that you just heard, take it with as much as you can. Take it with as much as you can and not a grain of salt. Remember those words. Repeat. If you have to, go back a few minutes ago and listen to that segment of this story. And listen to this segment of the video. And write in the comments what it means to you, what you're going to do about it, and any other comment, suggestion that you may have. Because unlike some YouTubers who say, oh, I read your comments and then they never respond, I will respond to every single individual comment on my videos. I will respond to it, no matter what it may be. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. And I hope you have a good night and a very happy new year. Dr. C out. Oh, P.S. I will still continue to be doing more videos after this. Dr. C out.